September 3, 1989. Havana's José Martí International Airport. The mood is relaxed, almost festive. 115 holidaymakers, mostly Italian and West German tourists, are boarding Cubana de Aviation Flight 9046. They're sun-kissed, loaded with souvenirs, and eager to get home. Their ride is a robust Soviet-built Ilyushin Il-62M jetliner, a workhorse of the skies with a solid track record. They're supported by a skilled navigator and 2 mechanics, all trusted members of the Cubana fleet. The pre-flight briefing had mentioned possible rain, but nothing out of the ordinary for a Caribbean evening. As the 4 massive engines spool to life, their roar cutting through the humid air, the weather takes a sudden, violent turn. The heavens open up, unleashing a storm of biblical proportions. Heavy sheets of rain hammer the fuselage and pound the tarmac. Wind gusts begin to whip across the airfield, screaming at speeds between 30 and 50 miles per hour. This wasn't just a shower, it was a meteorological ambush. But the moment its wheels leave the ground, it's met by a ferocious headwind. The gale claws at the aircraft's underbelly, slowing its ascent and draining its precious forward momentum. The airspeed indicator struggles to climb. Inside the cockpit, a critical decision is made. To gain speed and push through the punishing wind shear, the crew decides to retract the flaps from 30 degrees to 15 degrees. In normal flight, this is a standard procedure to reduce drag and streamline the wings. But in this precarious moment, just seconds after liftoff, it proves to be a catastrophic mistake. The partial retraction of the flaps robs the aircraft of the very lift it so desperately needs to stay airborne in the turbulent, soupy air. The aircraft is barely 53 meters, about 174 feet off the ground when it happens. The thunderous roar of the crash mingles with the terrified screams of families caught in the inferno. In an instant, the holiday was over. The dreams of reunion were shattered. All 126 people aboard the plane, 115 passengers, and 11 crew perished. Their journey home ended in a fiery tomb, just moments after it began. But the tragedy didn't stop at the airport perimeter. On the ground, the disaster continued to unfold. The quiet residential area was transformed into a war zone. The explosion and collapsing buildings claimed the lives of 24 residents, innocent people who were in their homes, going about their evening. Another 16 were left with severe burns and unimaginable trauma, their lives scarred forever by the night a plane fell from the sky. In total, the disaster claimed 150 lives. As dawn broke the next morning, the smoldering ruins painted a grim picture. Investigators from Cuba and the Soviet Union began the heartbreaking task of sifting through the charred remnants, searching for answers. The investigation concluded that the primary cause was the pilot's decision to take off in weather conditions that had deteriorated far beyond the forecast. It was a gamble against a storm that was far more powerful than they had anticipated. This initial error was tragically amplified by the second mistake, the premature retraction of the flaps. That maneuver, intended to save the flight, instead sealed its fate, leaving the aircraft powerless against the violent downdraft.